The food is always one of the most important things to look into when visiting a new place. Every few hundred kilometers, the food changes, so you'll always have something new, exciting, and delicious to eat. All over the world, there are amazing food gatherings where people can enjoy their favorite foods and take part in a wide range of fun activities and events. Each of these carnivals is better than the last and has something different to offer. This makes them nothing less than a paradise for food lovers all over the world. It's time to stop making silly diet goals and let your unwavering love for food do the talking. Number 10. La Tomatina, Spain. En Buol, you can take part in the world's largest tomato fight, which is a friendly battle that ends with a feast of tasty tomato-based foods. During the days before the fight, there will be a paella battle near the town square, fireworks made out of tomatoes, and parades and musical groups all over the medieval city center. The Palo Harbin is the first battle before the Tomato War. It takes place on Wednesday morning, and it's built around a long stick that's been greased and has a piece of ham at the top. The goal of the game is for players to climb up the pole and bring down the ham, which means they have to climb on top of each other. During this activity, more celebrants would sing and dance in groups while spraying water from hoses on everyone who was there. Once the ham is gone, the battle for the tomatoes can start. The fight usually lasts about an hour, and when it's over, pieces of tomato are all over the town square. The streets are then hosed down by fire trucks, and competitors often use hoses that residents give them to wash the tomatoes off their bodies before continuing the run. Some of the people who go to Los Peones use the pool to wash. Because tomatoes contain citric acid, the objects in town that have been cleaned are now very clean. Since 2013, only the 20,000 people who bought tickets in advance have been allowed to go to the show. In 2015, about 145,000 kilograms or 320,000 pounds of tomatoes were thought to have been thrown away. Number 9. Oktoberfest Germany. Munich hosts the world's biggest beer fair where you can enjoy traditional German food, beer, and fun. There will be comforting foods like pretzels, sausages, and sauerkraut available. The story of the entry of Oktoberfest restaurateurs and breweries for the beginning of the festival began in 1887, when the manager at the time, Hans Streyer, led his staff, a brass band, and a load of beer from his meadow to the Tegernsee Landstrasse and on to the Theresienwiese. This was the first step in letting restaurants and bars take part in the Oktoberfest, which started the next day. The parade has been going on in its current form since 1935 when it was first held. Since then, all of the brewers have taken part. Since then, the Munich Kindle has led the parade and the mayor of Munich has followed in the Schottenhamel family carriage since 1950. Then come the floats and horse carriages that the brewers have decorated, as well as the carriages that other restaurant owners and showmen have decorated. Bands play music inside the beer tents while the march goes by. Number 8. Taste of Chicago, USA. At this event, which happens once a year, people can try food from some of Chicago's most well-known restaurants and get a feel for the city's booming restaurant scene. The Taste of Chicago is the biggest food event in the world. It takes place 5 days every July in Grant Park in Chicago, Illinois. It's also the biggest event that Chicago has ever had. During the event, live music is played in a number of places, such as the Patrio Music Shell, pavilions, and stages for shows and exhibitions. Taste of Chicago and the Chicago Country Music Festival have been held at the same time since 2008. But the Chicago Country Music event now has its own 2-day event, which is usually held in the fall. At the Taste of Chicago, there will also be rides such as a Ferris wheel and the Jump to Be Fit, among others. Number 7. Songkran Water Festival, Thailand. In April, the Thai New Year is marked with water fights and traditional food carts that sell pad thai, mango sticky rice, and tom yum soup. Every year, Songkran is on April 9th, but the holiday weekend is from April 14 to 15. The word Songkran comes from the Sanskrit word Sankranti, which means literally astrological passage, but it also means transformation or change. According to the Buddhist and Hindu calendars, it happens at the same time as the rising sign of Aries in astrology and the start of the new year in many Southeast and South Asian countries. Number 6. MidAutumn Festival, China. The MidAutumn Festival, which is also called the Mooncake Festival, is a happy time when people get together to eat traditional foods like mooncakes and sticky rice dumplings. People think of it as one of the most important holidays in Chinese society, and it's as well known as the Spring Festival. The Mid-Autumn Festival's been celebrated for more than 3,000 years. On the 15th day of the 8th month of the Chinese lunisolar calendar, when the moon is full at night, the party takes place. On the Gregorian calendar, this date is about the middle of September or the beginning of October. The Chinese believe that the moon is the biggest and brightest on this day, which also happens to be the first day of harvest time in the middle of fall. Number 5. Melbourne Food and Wine Festival, Australia. All over Melbourne, you can enjoy gastronomy, wine tastings, and events at places that serve fine food. These events show how the city's food and drink culture is alive and well. Every year in March, there's an event called the Melbourne Food and Wine Event. Its purpose is to show off Victoria's food, drink, art, and music. There are more than 300 events like Crawl and Bite, Langham Melbourne Masterclass, and the world's longest lunch. They take place in different places all over the state. Number 4. Pizza Fest, Italy. Visit Naples, which is known as the birthplace of pizza, during Pizza Fest, a festival that lasts a whole week and is all about this popular food. During Pizza Fest, many pizza places will show off their own special ways of making pizza. Pizza Fest is an event that takes place every year in Napoli, which is in Italy and is also called Naples. This is the biggest event of its kind in the world. At this year's Pizza Fest, which is held in Naples, Italy's pizza capital, hundreds of pizza lovers come to try some of the city's most famous dishes. If you're looking for things to do next year and love pizza as much as we do, you should seriously think about going to Naples during this mouth-watering event. Number 3. Harbin Ice and Snow Festival, China. Harbin is a winter wonderland with ice and snow sculptures that you can look at while eating traditional Chinese street food like steamed buns, dumplings, and hot pot. Every year in Harbin, China, there is a winter event called the Harbin International Ice and Snow Event. It's the biggest ice and snow event in the world, bringing in millions of people and bringing in billions of yuan. The event has 3 main shows: Sun Island, Shaolin Park, and the Grand World of Ice and Snow. Number 2. Galway International Oyster and Seafood Festival, Ireland. Join other seafood lovers in Galway for a weekend of oyster shucking competitions, tastings of different kinds of seafoods, and live music to enjoy Ireland's long history of great seafood. The Galway International Oyster Festival is held every year on the last weekend of September, which is the first month of oyster season. Galway is on the west coast of Ireland. Brian Collins, the boss of the Great Southern Hotel, came up with the idea, and it started in 1954. In 2000, the Sunday Times said it was one of the 12 best shows on Earth. And in 1987, the AAA Travel Guide said it was one of Europe's 7 best festivals. The Sunday Times said in 2000 that it was one of the 12 greatest shows on Earth. Number 1. Tomato Battle Festival, USA. Take part in the Tomato Battle Festival, which is held in many places across the United States. At this event, people fight with tomatoes and eat food from food trucks that have tomato-themed themes. The Tomato Romp Festival is the first bad tomato fight for a good cause in North America. The money raised will help Hunger Task Force fight hunger in the community. On Milwaukee's east side, where the party is held, people eat, drink, and throw overripe tomatoes all day long. And that's all, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video and thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.